Welcome to Long Brothers Reviews, the show where sibling rivalry meets the cinema as two brothers rate and debate movies past, present, and coming soon. I'm Todd, and this week's episode is sponsored by Applebee's. Hey, there are worse places you can eat.
And I'm Mike, and there are worse places you can eat. And this week's film is Mad Max Fury Road, starring Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, directed by George Miller.
This week's order was decided by the same committee that oversaw the Deflategate scandal, and that means, Mike, you're up first.
Mad Max Fury Road is simply a visual masterpiece. Easily the best picture of the year so far. One of the best pictures of the past several years. It immerses you in a world of constant action, a series of death-defying, downright shocking moves that come so frequently and so fast. It makes the set-piece nature of other action pictures very obvious. Go see a comic book movie, go see Fast and Furious 1 through 99, and they're exhilarating, but it's still, here's a set piece, here's a set piece, here's another action scene just like it. Mad Max, on the other hand, is a universe of continuous motion. The first 40 minutes alone are a movie all by itself. Plot doesn't matter. Dialogue is absolutely awful, but as something to look at, I can't name a picture. Boy, I can't name 5 pictures in my lifetime of seeing films that this compares to. See this movie.
Well, I'm saying see it as well, but, my opinion of this film is similar to the one that you had last week when we discussed Avengers Age of Ultron. This is a film I was not terribly excited about seeing because, as I have said before, I'm not a big fan of reboots, especially when they're rebooting a film that I can remember when the original came out. Now, that being said, I think people who enjoyed the original set of Mad Max films will like this movie. It is a very fine film. And people who are new to the franchise, who haven't even seen the others, will like this film as well. Like you said, it's got a ton of action, a lot of stunts. It's a visually very appealing film to look at. But unless you like watching big rolling car chases for a couple of hours, you're not going to enjoy this. It's not a film for everyone, despite, how much we enjoyed it. So yeah, my verdict on Mad Max Fury Road is see it, if you like big, over the top, lots of action movies.
There are 2 ways to look at this picture. There's the way most of us look at movies. Did I have a good time? Yeah, you'll have a good time. Is it going to be your favorite picture? It's not going to be your favorite picture of all time. But the other way to look at this is to appreciate what they've done. The energy that goes into this, I dispute that it's a car movie. It's not a car movie. It's about a universe. Imagine if Tim Burton were on cocaine for a year. That's what this would be. It looks like every detail was paid attention. There's little scenes. There are images. There's this image of a gas pedal that appears for almost 2 seconds. The work that it took to create this little image for 2 seconds must have been a dozen hours at least. It was an old foot measuring thing for a shoe. And this film is filled to the brim. Every frame is filled with people. It made me think of the 10 Commandments in terms of how it must have felt to see all those people up on screen, coordinated, doing something at once. The complete kinetic nature of this, the violence in terms of the frequency of action, not blood. There's very little blood in the picture. It's hard to describe how much is going on at once. I was blown away.
A lot of times when you see a film that's been made in 3D and you watch it in 2D, you're kind of overwhelmed with these gratuitous shots that were just thrown in for 3D effects, stuff coming at the screen. That really only happens one time.
I know where it is.
This whole film, and it's the scene with the guitar.
Yeah.
That's the only time when you think, okay, well, this is just so they could have this in 3D. The rest of the film, this film did not need to be in 3D to be visually effective.
The dialogue, as I say, is awful. There's a sort of an environmentalist, feminist sort of thing in here. But it's so puerile. It's so simple. It's sort of like tossing in a big word because you know it. It doesn't work. But the action, I'm not going to say anymore because there's nothing else to say about it. Every extra that you can see on the screen has this incredible, odd face that they've come up with, some sort of future de-evolution of people. The expansive obvious makeup and making people these big white face thing, these drums that they bang, this whole culture just is suggested rising up out of this mountain. There are grossly obese people and nipple rings on men and outfits with cutouts, kind of a Tim and Eric thing going. There are little people or dwarves, I don't know if we can say that anymore, but we will, who have physical deformities, who are cast in major positions. It's insanity. The phrase that came to me, I saw this last night, I said it on the way out, was it was a fully realized dreamscape. It was a universe you live in for 2 hours. It's not, oh, that was a cool scene. You can't name a scene in this picture that you go, oh, well, that's the scene to see. No, it's 2 hours.
The thing that kind of struck me as odd was how come they never run out of gas? They drive across the desert for a handful of days. You never even see a gas gauge in this thing. And they don't even talk about, hey, how much gas we got left? It's just drive, just keep going. And nobody ever says anything about running out of gas. Nobody even seems concerned that it might happen. Then the film starts out with that's ostensibly what the Charlize Theron character, that's where she's going, to get more gas.
Right.
But she goes off on this other adventure, and the big gas tank, you find out that she was supposed to get filled up. She's not getting any gas from that because she was going to fill it up. So where's the gas coming from? This is one of the few films I can think of with her, and a very great actress, where she doesn't find some excuse to take all her clothes off.
I've said it on this before. I'll say it again. If I want porn, I'm going to sit in front of a computer. I'm not going to pay $15 to watch it for 4 seconds flashed on a big screen, okay?
Yeah, well, until the public library told you to stop.
This Mad Max is a great picture. You need to go see it if you love action pictures, if you love art house. It's one of the few art house blockbusters I've ever seen. One more thing. As much as the dialogue doesn't matter, neither do the actors. I've read occasional reviews about Tom Hardy is magnificent and Charlize Theron is this feminist leader. And no, she's a mannequin. He's a mannequin. Everybody's a pretty mannequin to ride around for the director to mount action about. That's it. This doesn't matter at all. The
list of people who wanted this role of Max is a pretty lengthy one. Apparently, from what I read, Jeremy Renner actively campaigned for this. Sam Worthington was rumored to have all but nailed the thing down at one point. There's a handful of people who really wanted this or were being considered, and I think, again, nothing against Tom Hardy. I think it really shows that they just needed somebody in a leather jacket.
You won't see this in the trades, but as they were wrapping in 2014 for a while, I was on the short list to play the spare tire.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that didn't work out.
Well, I still get to keep the tire.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter to find out more or to ask us about some of your favorite films.
So until next time, that right there is my brother Todd.
And that's my brother Mike saying, you boys like Mexico?